Hello, and thank you very much for taking a look at this demo video for the product and invoice database. I'm going to just show you how this works. This is ideal for smaller companies if you want to just be able to kind of create invoices for your clients and keep track of what they've spent and what they've bought and what products, what the price of your products and your client database and all the rest of it. There are limitations to this software. The maximum number of invoices that you can issue in one financial year would be 2,000. The number of invoice lines, which will make sense in a few minutes. In other words, each entry on the invoice will count as an invoice line. You can have a maximum of 20,000 invoice lines, which means there's basically 10 lines per invoice. The maximum that you can have on one invoice is 20. The maximum of 500 products and a maximum of 500 clients. That's obviously over a financial year. If you get to the end of the year and you want to remove some products and add some different ones on, you can do that, but you can never have more than 500 on at once. Same with the clients. There are reasons for these limits, so there are reasons for them, and it will become clearer in due course. Let's go and take a look now. For starters, you'll start off with your introduction page. Your company name will already be filled in over there, but you're able to start with the invoice number that you're starting with. So if you want to start from scratch, we can start with invoice number 1. If you start the second year, you can just put the first invoice, the next invoice number that you're due to go on to, you can put that there, and that's where the system will start off invoicing. Your tax abbreviation, if you've got VAT, if you've got GST, you can change it. It'll change throughout the system, but let's just put in VAT for now. Put your registered address for the company, VAT registration, or whatever tax registration you would need from whichever country you're in. Company registration number over there. Then there's an invoice terms and conditions, just the short terms and conditions that will appear on your invoice. So please just make sure you fill that in with whatever you wanted to say. Your bank, sort code, and account number. None of these details go anywhere else other than on the spreadsheet. But this is just so that it appears on your invoice. This isn't linked to any website or anything like that. Then also, please fill in the start date for the financial year. The first date, it'll give you a date, obviously a year later when it would finish. Put the full date in there, and then also you can put in the VAT rates. This is tax rates throughout the year. In case the tax rate actually changes, you can put the date from this date to that date. That was a tax rate, and you've got up to 4 per annum that you can put in there in order to obviously keep track of the tax should it change throughout the year. Now, lastly, we've got down here that you can select the currency and you can select the date format as well. This is a section where you would paste in a link into the other spreadsheet. Now, let's just say you finished year 1 and you're moving on to year 2. You'll see later on that there will be a page where it'll actually show your complete client list and their actual current balance. You're able to copy that, and when you paste it in here, and you actually, let me show you here, if you were to copy the field, copy, and then you want to paste this, you come to paste it here. There you've got paste, which is a normal paste, which is just going to paste basically exactly what you've got in the other one. That's not going to work in this instance. You can use the paste values, which is actually going to just paste the actual values of what's in those cells, which means that if it says £25, it's going to paste £25. It's never going to change. It's just going to be pasted as text. If you do that and you do then go back and alter one of the invoices from last year, you would need to come in here and change the balance. The ideal one actually to put here is to put paste link. If you paste link, what it does is it actually pastes a link to your old spreadsheet. Let me just stop that. You'll paste the link to the old spreadsheet, which means that if you go back to the previous year's spreadsheet and the client pays an invoice that wasn't paid, it will automatically update the balance on the sheet. And this then feeds this new spreadsheet. So pasting the link into here would be the ideal way to go. But you'll see where you get that information from in a minute or two. This here is an interesting one. If just select over here somewhere away from the picture. What you want to do is you want to insert your logo into here. So what you can do is you can just go to Insert, Pictures, scroll down, obviously find the picture that you want. double click on that, and that'll insert the picture here onto the screen. Then you can just resize it so that it fits within this black border. It doesn't have to be exact, but you obviously want to get it nice and centered, and you want to get it within that black border. Anything outside of that black border is not going to show up. This may not work on some of the older versions of Excel, but it does work on the newer ones. So then let's move on. Once you've got all of that information in, you can then go to your invoice. Let's start here with a product database. Here you can put your products in. I've put that as removed. Let's just remove that for a second. You can put in all of your products as you go. I've gone here with a kind of a sandwich company making some sandwiches. So you put in the product itself, the description, the unit, and you can have a price category for category A, B, C, D, and E. You've got 5 categories. And then what you can actually do is you can put all your complete list down here. If you want to remove one, instead of just deleting it off here, because remember, if you sell some of these products, the invoice is going to rely on this information in order to populate the invoice. If you then go and remove this, and you want to call up an old invoice and it can't find the respective product, it's going to cause hassles. So what you do then is just go line removed, click on that arrow, removed, and that will actually just clear it. It's still there, it's just hidden away. And as you can see, it removes here of your price list. This is your price list. I'll show you in a second. You're able to go have a client database and give each client to say which category each client's in. But here you'll have a list of all of your clients, and you can actually just go to the different clients and it'll change the prices accordingly. You can see that price has been removed because you've clicked remove. If you keep that one on, you'll see it comes back again. Now there's a hidden cell over here somewhere there. There we go. If you click on the right click there, you've got hide and show. If you hide, what that does is it removes the prices here. If you want to print this out for Mr. Spender to give him just his prices, you can do that if you don't want him to see the other prices. And all you go back is to go back to show, and then those prices will come back again. And this is actually what feeds the rest of the system as far as price is concerned. Then let's have a look at the client database. There's a client database. Name, there's the category. Click on it, select which category they're in, A, B, C, D, or E, and then you can obviously select which prices to give them. Address line 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the postcode or the zip code, depending on what you have where you live. There's the phone number, their phone number, contact, email. When you type an email address, it will automatically change to a hyperlink. And then, as you can see here, this keeps running totals. This is how much each client spent per year. There's a client's name again. Total inclusive of VAT that we selected. There's the balance. Total exclusive of VAT. That's what they're still owing. So you can see they're all paid up. They're still owing some money because they haven't fully paid their invoices yet. I'll show you where we get all this data from. Inclusive of VAT for previous years. This is previous balance. This comes from that link that we pasted at the beginning, where we paste the link. That comes from there, and this is the current year, and that's the VAT or tax that's outstanding. Okay, now I'm just going to have a look at the actual invoice database. This is where you would actually capture an invoice. So whenever you're ready to capture a new invoice, this is say someone comes in and spends something, you can click on the little arrow, scroll up to the top. Let's just say Mr. Client comes in to spend something. When we click onto Mr. Client, you'll see it'll regenerate and it'll actually pull out the next invoice number. There we go, number 5 this time. And what it'll do is, you can put in the date. So let's just say we put in the date. That's let's put something in July. Let's say it's the 22nd of July. I don't know if that's going to register because I put double space in. 22nd of July. Then what will happen is this will be the total of the invoice and the total of that, but you haven't got anything on the invoice yet. You've just really generated the idea of creating an invoice. You've said we want to create invoice number 5. Then what you do is you go here to the invoice items list and you select there number 5. You scroll up, you see there now there's number 5 on because you generated the invoice. Select number 5. It'll tell you who the client is with a suggested category. Then what you do is you just select on the product that they want to purchase, tuna mayonnaise. Now it gives you the price there based on their category. It'll tell you that you've said that should be £1.20, but it'll ask you just to confirm the price. Now you can either click on the little arrow to the right and go, yes, I want that at £1.20, or you can override it. Now let's just say for argument's sake we decide to give it to them for £1.10, and we go into them, what it says is, it says, hang on, this isn't the right amount, are you sure? You can say continue, which then allows you to keep £1.10 as opposed to £1.20. And that's just say because maybe they were going to be purchasing 5 of these things, so if we put in 5 sandwiches, there we go. Right, there's the price that they're supposed to be paying for it, for the invoice, for the line price, should we say. Here you can see there are 2 lines there for invoice number 4. There's one for invoice 5. You can add in as many as you need for invoice number 5. It'll actually give you the line total there, so you can see when before you get to 20. 20 is the maximum you can have on one invoice. And that's basically it. If we go back to the invoice database, you can see there now it's got that total from the invoice, it's got the VAT and all the rest of it, and the amount outstanding. And let's just say now you go, okay, yes, paid in full. There we go, paid in full, 0 outstanding. If you say partly paid, then you're able to put an amount in here as to how much they've partly paid and a due date when you're expecting it. If you put that due date in, that due date will change color when it gets to the day, or if it's expired, so that you know that it's overdue. That'll just warn you. So that's the invoice list, the client database, the product list all covered. Once you've done that, you can go to your invoice. Now, your invoice template is this, which you can save as a PDF, which will save a version of your invoice. And all you need to do on this page is simply go and select the invoice number that you want. And upon selecting that, it'll populate it with the correct population. It'll put the client name, the address, or the date of the invoice. You see the 22nd of July that we selected earlier. If you scroll down, it's got paid in full, 0 outstanding. There's your tax and total amount, your terms and conditions that you put in the beginning, your bank details, sort code, account number, and all the rest of it. So everything is there as you would expect. If you then change it to, say, invoice number 4, you'll see obviously the details for invoice number 4 coming up. You'll see here it says 4.000. That's only there just in case you want to put something down in kilograms or something, if you're selling something by weight, and you want to be able to put the grams in. It's just basically just depending on what it is that you want to be able to use, or what it is that you're selling. Then that is probably the bulk of what it does. That's its main job. But I've added in a few extra things here. If we go to statistics, you can have a look here month by month. Your invoice, your amount invoiced, VAT invoiced, amount outstanding, discount. This is just a rank. So that one there would be a full. That would be 100%. These will be based on that percentage of the highest amount. So it just shows you which is your highest amount. Almost like a little chart in there. And as you can see here, there's your graph, the green being the amount inclusive of VAT that you've invoiced, and the blue being the number of invoices. So obviously if the blue line's higher, then it means you're sending out lots of smaller invoices. If the green line's higher than the blue, then it means you're sending out fewer invoices, but they're worth more value. That's just an indication. This graph looks a bit funny, but it'll obviously look more, it'll be clearer when you're filling in more sales. You've also got reports. There are 2 reports. There's the reports here and the owing. They're very, very similar. You can actually select the client that you wish to see. So you can scroll up the top, go, actually just want to see Mr. Spender, and it'll show you everything Mr. Spender's bought between those 2 dates. You can change those dates as well. If you leave that blank, it'll show you all clients between those 2 dates. Again, change the dates if you want to see specific for a week or a month or whatever it might be. And owing is very similar. These are all obviously all the invoices, and you can select between dates and how much. So if you say, actually just give me the invoices that are all over £20, it'll just give you that one there. Otherwise you're going to actually, I want everything. It'll give you all the invoices here. This block up there, and again that block up there, that will just warn you, because there are only 300 spaces available on this report. So if there are 310 items that should be on the report, this will tell you that there are actually some missing. So you should maybe just lower your searches a little bit. If we go back to client database, that there, your outstanding balance and your client name, that is what you would copy. And then when you open up a new document for the new year, you can take it, as we said, over here and paste that link into here. This is the exact number of rows. If you go to your client database and actually highlight that all the way down to the bottom there, or at least within the black borders, that will actually fit exactly into there if you paste the link for the new year. And then obviously just bearing in mind as well that when you come to your client, you can actually sort your clients using these little arrows here into alphabetical order. And also what you can do then as well, with your products is you can actually sort by removed. So if you've removed 50 products, sort by the products. You're then able to actually highlight all the ones that have been removed, right click, you can go to clear contents, so you'll clear them, then you can sort them into alphabetical order, and once you sort them back in alphabetical order, all the ones that you've removed will be removed, and you can copy that entire price list, and you can actually just right click and say paste contents or paste values into the new price list. So you've got the new prices for the new year, and you can do exactly the same with a client. You can remove the ones that you want, copy them, paste it into the New Year's database, and then you're ready to go with the new year. So obviously, instead of retyping all this up, you can just highlight the whole lot, copy it, right click on the new one, say paste values, and you'll paste it all in here into the new year, and then you're ready to go for the second year. You'll have links to the balances of the first year. You'll have all the data that you need, and you can carry on as you left off. So I hope that's been beneficial to you. I hope that this is something that you can use and something that will help you and will help your business. Please do take a look at the website if you found this on YouTube, spreadsheetsolutions.pw/store. You'll be able to find the store. You can download a PDF brochure as well. If you're already on the store, you can download a PDF brochure, take a look at it, and there's also a link where you can purchase this product. So yeah, thank you very much. If this is something that you like, something that you would like to use, but this one doesn't particularly work for you, please do contact us, because we do customized spreadsheets as well. Spreadsheetsolutions.pw. Thank you very much. Bye bye.